Hey everybody, Dennis here. How are you? Gosh, pat yourself on the back because you're at the last module, and that's fantastic. Don't really have too much farther to go, but I actually think this last module, Module 4, is the most important. I'm a little biased because most of my career has been spent in obtaining grants, and I've gotten a lot of them. And I'm going to tell you how. I'm going to tell you really, not really a secret that I have in getting grants. It's more like a mentality and it's really worked for me. So hopefully it'll work for you. Let's talk a little bit about grants and where we're going here. First of all, you've this next 2 weeks you've got two assignments, and the first one is to research grants. I find that usually with my classes that people haven't done this. They haven't researched grants before, and that's fine. We have this really cool thing called the Foundation Center database. Now, the Foundation Center, there's several of them around the United States. And there's also the online version. What these are is really a combination of resources about different foundations and corporate giving and all kinds of organizations that would make money available to you. So you have to search through them using certain keywords and find ones that match what you want to do. So for our project here with the community kitchen, we're going to look for examples of giving for nutrition or obesity or child and youth development. Really keywords that associate with community kitchen or the mission of community kitchen. So when we research, we're gonna put those keywords in, and we're going to look at what's available to us in terms of grants. Now, I always get asked the question, Community Kitchen is a fictitious organization. That's correct. Well, where is it located? Well, it isn't. I mean, it doesn't really exist. So put it where you're at. It doesn't. I don't care. Honestly, I don't care. Look at national organizations. Look at regional. Look at your state. It doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is that you're able to get into this database and really find three solid and viable funders for Community Kitchen. Where they're located, I really don't care. So that's going to be pretty important to know as you do some research. Once you get in there, look at what their mission is and what they've funded in the past, what their main philanthropic goals are, and see if it's a match with the Community Kitchen. If it is, note that down and then tell me why you think it's a good match for Community Kitchen. It's really that easy. Don't make it confusing. If you get confused or lost in this, please send me an email. I'm happy to explain it further. Okay, I don't. It's really important that you know how to do this. So don't let yourself get buried in a misunderstanding of how this thing works. Okay, and then we're going to write a letter of inquiry. If you, in real life, if you find a funder that you want to go to with your project, uh, the first thing you're going to do is call them. Hopefully, they've listed a contact name and a contact number so that you can get on the phone. And this is extremely important what I'm about to tell you. So you can get on the phone and say, "How you doing? My name's Dennis. I got this idea for a project. I'm wondering what you think about it and if whether or not it matches your philanthropic goals." They're going to say a couple things to you. They're either going to say no, but I've never had one say no and then hang up. They usually will say no, but you might want to check the Joe Schmo Foundation down the street because they like that kind of stuff. Or they're going to say yes. And if they say yes, they're going to say either apply to us online, which is more and more prevalent these days, or send us a letter of inquiry, or even send us a proposal. So I'm going to send you some resources on what to do if they say send us a proposal. There is sort of an industry standard for proposals, and you'll want to know what that is if you're going to send one. So I'll take care of that. I'll attach that, and you can have that as a resource. But we're going to worry about if they say letter of inquiry. Okay, here's my big non-secret secret. When I write a grant, uh, I I don't want to say that I get a little arrogant, but this is a business. This is a business proposition for a funder. This is the most important thing that I will say in this class is what I'm about to say. A grant is not a gift. It is not a donation. It is nothing like that. With a grant, you will have a business partnership with a funder. You're going to be required to do periodic reports against the money they give you. You're going to be required to account for every single penny of the money they give you. And you're probably going to be required to disseminate the results that you come up with against your measurable objectives. A grant is for a project in which you have measurable objectives. How else do they know if their money's doing any good in the community? I mean, you really have to have something that's going to be measured. With the community kitchen, it might be we're going to do pre and post testing on kids to see if they've gotten any nutritional learning gains, or you might even weigh kids at the beginning and the end of a project to show that they've lost weight because of the diet they've been on. I don't know. But you've got to have some sort of measurable objectives with a grant. Very different than a gift, as you can see. So my language is not the typical fundraising language. Oh, please, we'd really like your support, and we really, it's almost like a pleading kind of language, which drives me nuts. But so don't write like that because it drives me crazy. It's more of a partnership language. And so right up front, in any kind of business partnership, you're going to say, this is what I want, and this is what I'm going to do with what you give me. So maybe I want $50,000, I don't know, whatever you come up with, and this is what I'm going to do with that, not begin my program or launch our program or make a difference. That tells me absolutely nothing, okay? But if you say, this project is going to require $50,000 in salaries or equipment or supplies or construction cost or soil sampling or whatever the case is, now I'm speaking like a partner. I need your money, and this is why I need it. And this is how I'm going to be able to measure it. So you also maybe want to touch a little bit about what kind of objectives you're going to have. Do you have to write out your objectives and be real detailed? No. But in a letter, which you should really try to keep it under a page and a half, you should explain, this is what I want, this is what I'm going to do with it, and these are this is an overview of the objectives that I'm going to have. Then back yourself up with a little bit of facts and figures. Tell me about your organization. And then a good thing to do at the end is reiterate, thanks for considering us for a proposal, because that's really what you're doing, is you're asking if you can write a proposal for this amount of money to do this. Okay? That's really important. And if you get in that, if you start pleading with them, this is a fantastic, with the flowery language stuff, this is a fantastic thing, and we're changing the world, and oh my gosh, you're just going to get tossed in the trash can at your funder's office, okay? I base this on years and years and years of reading grant proposals for the Indiana Department of Education and for a couple corporations. When you're stuck in a hotel room for days on end and forced to read hundreds of these things, it is so nice when you get one and they say, this is what I want and this is what I want it for. Instead of trying to just wow you with big words and jargon and nice big thick paper and some font that you can't read, okay? So again, this is a very important module of the class, grants and grant writing, because you will probably be asked at some point in your career to do this. It's a business partnership. If you're asked to do something by your funder, like write a 6-page proposal and with an introduction and a needs assessment and objectives, do exactly that. Follow their directions to the letter. If there are no directions, then as I said, I will send you something that is kind of an industry standard on what it means to submit a proposal. Okay? If you just start writing and you send them 5 pages of drivel, they're going to know, well, this person doesn't really know what they're doing. Do we really want to give our money to them and maybe risk not having any results come back to us? Okay, so that's why I wanted to really emphasize this. So again, grants is a different type of writing style, as we discussed last week. It's very different from an email solicitation, a press release where you're writing to the media, or any other kind of fundraising piece. A grant is a business relationship, and that's how you should view it. Okay, good luck with this. If you have any questions at all, and I'm going to be sending you some resources. If you have questions on that, let me know. If you want to see a big, complicated grant, there's one that I can send you. It was one that I wrote when I was in Afghanistan for the Australian government for the reconstruction of a village there. If you want to see what one of those looks like, I can send you that as well. So just email me and let me know. Other than that, good luck, and I hope you enjoy this portion of the class, because I think it's really an interesting one, and I hope you learn something as well. So thanks, everybody. Take care.